McKinney North is surging as the Bulldogs make the turn in district play as Coach Darryll Kraft joins us now. And Darryll, a 4-game win streak has you in 3rd place as you begin the second half of the district season, and it's a pretty good spot to be in after a couple of losses to McKinney and Highland Park to open the new year.
We talked about after the 2 losses to McKinney and Highland Park were back-to-back, we put us at 1-2. And I talked to some of the kids in the locker room who had been on the team from last year, and we talked about we were in the exact same spot a year ago, 1-2, and how we were still able to find a way to make the playoffs. And we talked about how these next 4 games are going to be very important, and we really exceeded our expectations by winning all 4 of them. So we're at 5-2. We're in a good spot, for the turn for the second half of district. But like I told the kids also, it's not like football where you don't have to play 1 round. You have to play 2 good rounds of basketball. So we're 5-2. We have ourselves in a good spot. Play tomorrow night against Heath on the road. Always tough, and they're playing good ball. They lost by 2 to Highland Park on the road, and they lost by 7 points to J.J. Pierce. So, and that's the same team that had us down by 21 points in the first half. So hopefully our kids understand the importance of that game and then each game afterwards.
The common thread during this win streak, one of a few I'm sure, has been defense. After allowing 80 points or more against McKinney and Highland Park, you've held these 4 opponents during the win streak to less than 50 points a game. What's been the key there?
Well, I think it's just the type of teams we're playing. Highland Park shot the ball unbelievable. I mean, we came off a very tough loss the game before, and I thought we played okay in the first quarter and the first half. In the second half, we had, whatever happened, Highland Park just shot the ball just unbelievably well. McKinney High, you're going to have games like that. And, we took the philosophy that we felt we could run with them. We had athletes and basketball players that were able to do that, double overtime. So that's the reason why that score was kind of high. The other teams are going to be teams that are going to want to slow it down and play half court. And I think our ability allows us to do either one. We can get out and run with teams, or if we have to play a half court game and grind it out, we're definitely able to do that. So I think that's the reason why you saw the difference. And our defense has been good. We've done a great job, I think, allowing teams to one-shotting out and blocking out and getting the ball out and running on the offensive end. And then just play good, sound defense and getting a hand up on shooters and making sure you don't make any silly fouls or send kids to the line.
Darryll, you learned a lot about your team in that first game against McKinney. Like you mentioned, went to double overtime, and you had that game won in regulation, if not for a questionable foul call against your club. Red Shannon makes 3 free throws with less than a second remaining. What did you take from that one to make sure that your team could regroup and just leave that one in the rearview mirror?
It's kind of funny you asked me that. I went back to school, and I had something from SMU basketball, and it was some kind of saying, I can't really remember exactly what it was, Ted, but it says, those people who turn out good are the ones who make things that, when the things go bad, they can make it out of a good situation. I read that quote, and I went in and I told the guys, I said, we didn't get it done last night. And it all depends on how we handle this will determine how we'll handle our season. And after a couple of days, I looked at 2 or 3 of our kids who played a lot, and I said, Jola, did you have fun Tuesday night or Friday night, whatever that was? He goes, yes, sir. I said, Julian, did you have fun? Yes, sir. I said, hey, I know we didn't win the game, but the bottom line is that is what high school sports are really all about. Going out, competing, having fun, and finding a way, hopefully, to win. And yeah, the call was questionable, but like I told our kids, how many foul shots did we have an opportunity? We missed 2 front and one-on-ones and had the ball stolen from us in the last 30 seconds that could have won the game. So we can make all the excuses you want to about the call. The bottom line is we didn't get the job done, and McKinney High was better that night, and I tipped my hat off, and I said it before, to Red Shannon to go up there and make 3 tough foul shots. But that's the type of kid he is. So, we'll have another chance at him. Hopefully it'll be in a game that will be meaningful if we can take care of business on Tuesday night against Heath.
Seems like the light is coming on for one of your own guards, sophomore Colin Curran. He's averaging 16 points over the last 6 games. He had 22 against McKinney, 22 against Highland Park. What have you seen from him lately?
Totally different person, Ted. I kicked myself for putting him up on varsity last year as a freshman. Didn't get to play a lot. The minutes he played, he was just not the kid that I knew he could be as far as a basketball player goes. This year, just totally different. Willing to try to take over games, knock down shots, get to the rack, make good decisions with the basketball. Just totally different as far as his whole basketball savvy goes and wanting to do things for us. And he's been just gigantic. I mean, he's, like you said, come up big against McKinney and Highland Park, but not only that, just throughout the the district. He has shot the ball really well, and the thing about him, Ted, is that everybody knows he's a shooter now, so now he's got to come up with creative ways to make baskets, and he's able to do that, and athletic enough to get to the rack and shoot a little floater and find an open man when he can't get his shot off.
Seems like you have a pretty good backcourt for the foreseeable future with both Curran and Julian Perry, who's really stepped forward as well. He's averaging 18 points during this 4-game win streak. Do you see Julian kind of stepping forward as a leader, considering his experience as a top player on varsity as a freshman?
No doubt. You know, Julian is one of those kids that a couple times in this win streak, we went in halftime and we were close, whether it be up 3 or down 3, whatever the case may be. And, you know, we take Julian aside and say, hey, we need you to step it up here. And, you know, he just looks at us and says, yes, sir. You know, and the thing about that, sometimes you'll tell a kid that and he'll go out and think he's got to shoot every time. Not with Julian. Julian understands that he can take over games, whether it be offensively, defensively, passing the ball, rebounding. He's a very skilled young man as a sophomore, and I think, again, that varsity experience from last year really helps him.
There's another sophomore in Jola Otubu who has given you a lift, especially against Pierce on Friday night. He hits an enormous tray in the 4th quarter to give you the lead when you were down by 1. What do you like about Jola this year in his first year at the varsity level for you?
Such a competitor. You know, he's so hard on himself. His basketball IQ is not where he would like for it to be. This is only his 2nd year of really playing basketball, 2.5 years maybe. You know, got to play a little bit last year as a varsity player, starting every game this year for us. And you talk about that 3, a play before that, Pierce took its first lead by 1, and we're playing defense, and Jola gets a tip, gets a steal, kicks up to Colin, Colin makes a layup, puts us up 1. Then the very next possession, after we get a defensive stop, Jola hits a big 3 to put us up 4 after we blew a double-digit lead. And he is just, every game he gets better. He's going to learn not to be so hard on himself because he's going to make mistakes. All kids are going to make mistakes at the varsity level or any level for that matter, turn the ball over. But once he realizes that, hey, you know what, let's worry about the next play, he's going to be just very, very special also.
Alexander Ridley keeps maturing for you as a senior. Against Pierce, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. It seems like Ridley's turning the corner for you. You've been waiting for that for a little bit, and here he is stepping forward as a senior.
You just cannot believe the impact he makes on the game. He's 6'9", 6'10". He's willing to dive on the floor, willing to take charge. He took 3 or 4 charges against Pierce. He can rebound. He can score. He has been just a luxury to have because, again, we weren't really sure what we were going to have. We knew what we were going to get from him defensively. You know, we knew we were going to get block shots. We knew we were going to get rebounds. But offensively, he's averaging a double-double in district. And that's just something that you just can't replace. And it's just, you know, it's very exciting for us right now where we have ourselves positioned and the talent that we have on our team if we can just go and finish these last 7 games strong and hopefully make a little bit of run in the playoffs.
It is time to start the 2nd round of district play, and hey, we know that a lot of attention will be paid to Friday night's rematch against McKinney, but like you have said, all the focus is on Heath coming up Tuesday night.
No doubt. This is a team that had us down by 21 points in the first half at our place. They're very athletic. They have a kid, number 4, Christian Nabucco, who is probably averaging about 14, 15 points a game. Fortunately against us, we held them scoreless. Now, the thing they were able to do against us is the fact that they were able to knock down 3s in the first half that I have not seen them do all year. We had to go to play man-to-man in the second half, and we were able to shut down their shooters. Their defense is very stingy. They're very athletic. They run a 1-2-2 or a 1-3-1. You know, and against all smaller guards like Jola and Colin, it's hard to see over top of people and hard to get their shot off. So we're going to have our hands full on the road Tuesday night, and it's a big game for us.
Right now in 3rd place, and you're up 2 games on the pair of teams that are tied for 4th, Rockwall and Pierce. With such a young team, how do you handle this position?
It's kind of funny. You say that, and as a coach, I'm not really sure because we haven't been this young, Ted, but I've been honest with them. Ever since we were at the Highland Park game, we were 1-2, I talked to them about where we were. We played Rockwall the next game. I talked to them about how important that was because of their record, and it's really a 2-game swing. We went 2-2. Then we had to play Wiley, and we talked about the importance of that game. And I've just been very, very upfront and let them, you know, try to make it clear to them to let them see, hey, here we are. Here's everybody else. This is where these games are important. And you know, and talk to them. You know, our first goal is to make the playoffs. Now, we'd like to be first seed, but our first goal anytime we take a team into district is we want to get in the playoffs and have that experience. And so I'm just very upfront with them, let them know the records. I keep the records on my board since we were 1-2. and let the kids know that, you know, where everybody else stands. And like you said, we have a 2-game lead. Really, it's a 2.5-game lead because we have the tiebreaker over both of those teams. And the bottom line is that we need to win on Tuesday. And I talked to our team about this, so we don't have to look behind. We're not looking at J.J. Pearson Rockwell. We want to go catch McKinney High and Highland Park. You know, so if we can get this win and get us to 6-2, we'll be 1 game at the most behind McKinney High, 2 games against Highland Park with those 2 teams still being have to play.
That's
so.
Right. Darryll, we appreciate the time. Best of luck here in the second half.
Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it.
Darryll Kraft, head coach of the North Bulldogs. First up, Heath, on Tuesday as this second half of the district season begins. And then, yes, Friday night, the long-awaited round 2 against the McKinney Lions. And that is our show for today. Again, McKinney versus McKinney North, the rematch, Friday night, 7:30 on 97.5 KLAK. The next 2 weeks here on Sports Talk, we will turn our attention to soccer. Remember, if it's McKinney ISD Athletics, it's on Sports Talk. I'm Ted Emrich. See you next time.